Hey everyone, welcome to the Crafty Hen House. I just want to end up this video, part two, to let you all know that extracting the bees from the birdhouse was an amazing success. Right there is the tree that they came off, and there are all of the bees in their hive. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. As you can see, it's very quiet at the entrance. And then this is the tree. There was quite a lot of bees congealed around that little white spot. That's where the birdhouse was hanging originally, and they just had to take their time to find their way down to their new house. And a couple of things that happened during the extraction is when we finalized putting the bee box together, you'll see that there's a piece in the very middle that's unfinished. That is the interior lid. It was suggested that I just go ahead and put the frames on the bottom brood box in the inside. That is just this big box right here at the bottom, and the interior lid on top of that, and then the box on the top that is empty. Inside of there is a quart-sized mason jar with some sugar water, and I used a pin to prick some holes in the top of the lid and inverted it over top of the little oval opening. Now, the purpose for the sugar water, as it was told to me, was to induce the bees into believing that there's a pollen run, so that they get excited and they start saying, we need to produce more babies and get this big box running, and they will eventually start filling up all of the empty trays. I think we had 8 trays, and there was 6 of them that we put comb in, and the comb was absolutely beautiful. It was the most beautiful yellow color, and it tasted amazing. It was very, very exciting. So then once they start filling up all of the frames in the brood box at the bottom, then what I'll go ahead and I'll do is I will put the frames in the top of the upper box, the smaller frames, and let them start replenishing their supply of food. Or not replenishing, they're going to build all new little honeycomb up at the top to store all their food in the top, and that's where all the honey will be. And right now, as I understand, they only were making enough honey to make the hive that was built in the bird box sustainable, and they need about 70% of their honey for their food supply. So of course I don't want to take any of their food supply away, and I will just wait for them to build up the brood box. And once that's filled, I will open a second floor for them, and they will store all the beautiful honey up in that box. And there's one other picture I'm going to show you on the beehive, which I had mentioned when I was building the hive that it came with a doorway. Okay, as you can see, there's a little piece of wood where the bees are entering in. It's just a slight little hole about the size of a nickel. And if you turn that on its top, there's another opening that's about the length of a dollar bill, let's say. While this new hive is being set up and they're getting used to producing in this hive and getting all settled in, it was suggested that I keep that little doorway in for at least about a week or so, maybe a little less, just to make the traffic less busy at the opening of the hive. This way everybody can take their time coming and going. Also, with that doorway being small, it helps that in the case where robber bees are in the area trying to establish a bigger home and come upon this new house being built, let's say, it's less likely that they'll be able to take over this box because the bees that are established here can defend their home because there's a smaller doorway to come in. It makes perfect sense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave that in for the next couple days. Let them all come off the tree. There's about a 50-cent piece worth of bees. Yesterday it was completely covered. And it's just taking each night a few more come off the tree. They're really busy today. You can see them just going. They found their pathways. I did not move them far from where the birdhouse originally was. That just helps them know where their home is and to stay close to home. They won't be confused. I wanted to make this as least invasive as I possibly could. And I'm going to share with you a couple of the items that I did get. Now, I started out with getting the 2-tier bee box. That was off from Amazon. And I bought a bee starter kit, which came with a smoker, a cap remover, a brush, some pellets, and I'll show you what all it came with. This is what the beekeeping starter kit looked like, and in the back it had all of your basic beginner tools: your smoker, the bee brush, the cap fork. It has a bee frame grip. It has a little bee feeder and a stainless steel hive tool. And during this extraction, I used 4 of the 6 tools, so it's important that you do have that. Also, I bought a set of gloves, long gloves. They have elastic that goes up around your elbow, and a full bee suit. You saw me and they're wearing a full bee suit. I'm not sure if that's fully necessary. Now that I'm aware, I could probably get away with a pair of camo pants, something with a thicker canvas. You want boots because you want to make sure that the bees aren't getting up your pant leg or into your boots. I had some rubber boots I used for mucking stalls. And I also, a jacket with the screened head hat would be just perfect, I believe. But definitely gloves, a jacket, and the face with the netting. So that's it. Everything seems to be going really well. Everybody's calm. I am actually probably about 12 feet from the hive. I have a beautiful swing in my oak tree here, and I sit out here and nobody's bothering me. I don't bother them. I let them do their business, and in about a week I'll go ahead and I will open up the top of the box, take the brick off that I put on the box. That's another really important little tool you should have. That's a flat brick for a patio. I put that on. It came to me. I got to have something to keep this lid on in case I get any critters around. Well, good thing, because the very first night before I put the bees in there, I came out in the morning just to see what the bee activity was in the birdhouse to be prepared. And I had raccoon feet print on the front of the beehive, so they know where it's at. There's nothing in there. There's no scent of any honey yet at the time that they were scouting around. So put a heavy object on the very top. Even though it's a very sturdy lid, you want to make sure that you put a heavy brick or heavy rock on top of there to deter them from knocking it over. Another good reason that I left the hive right where it's located is the bees know where they want to be. They need to be near water. They need to have some shade, and they will build a hive, and that's where they want to be. I had no intentions of filling this hive and putting it where I thought it would be cute on the property. I left them right where they wanted to be, and I really think that helps them to adjust quickly. So I look forward to sharing my next steps that I go through with you. I'm a newbie. This is all starting something that I've never done before, and I hope that other people take this opportunity. Having honey from your property or in your locale is such a wonderful addition to your health. For allergies, it's just serves a multiple issues that people have with health, and it's so natural, it's so good, it never goes bad. You don't have to do anything but drip it off from the comb and you're good to go. So I hope this encourages other people like this old gal that would like to take an adventure and go ahead and just make all the proper preparations and take your time. This was a weekend project. Located the bees and got a hive, got my materials, waited for them to come in, and I built it. I stained it, and I had mentioned in the videos I was going to put 2 layers of stain on. I did not. I took a rag and dipped it in the stain, and I ragged it on with just 1 coat and let it cure overnight. I went ahead and I used some of my decals, my IOD decals, and you just rub them on, and just to add a little something personal to the beehive, and it made it absolutely adorable. So I hope you enjoyed this journey, and I look forward to seeing what the bees do, and hopefully I can get some honey in the next couple months or so, and I will bring you along on the journey, and we'll do this together. Thank you so much, and have a wonderfully blessed day.